What's up? What's up? What's up? My name is Lauren McLamory, and I am the founder of Moving Bravely. And I just have to say that jam is on point for me today. It is New Year's Eve when I'm recording this. I'm just getting into the spirit of all of the festivities tonight and going out there and hanging with friends and welcoming a new year. That song was Purple Hat by Sophie Tucker, and my sister, who is also my amazing DJ, Rachel, what's up, girl, recommended that song to me earlier this week, and it has just been on repeat since then. We have to get right to the point and let you know that this business, Moving Bravely, did not exist the way that it looks now 31 days ago. 31 days ago, I was frustrated and I was confused and I was losing hope and I was getting comfortable in my day-to-day, and I just thought that that was all that there was to me. All that I was offering in the world was waking up, going to work where I do a lot of impactful things, and going to the gym, coming home, eating dinner, doing it all over again the next day. I was fine, but there was something missing. We had just moved through the second anniversary of my mother's death, and I was just numb. It's the best way to describe it. I was just moving through my days, and I wanted more. I didn't know what more was. And again, I was so confused. And then one day, I get this Instagram message from this Wesley Knight who had been following for a while. And it was just the weirdest timing. All it said was, "What's up, Lauren? Are you going to be in this challenge?" And I'm thinking to myself, what challenge? And he says, there's a 35-day breakthrough challenge that we're putting on, and we need badass women to represent in this group. And little did he know that he was hitting my DMs right when I needed him to, and right when it was a time of hopelessness. So I totally told him that it was the weirdest timing and that I had been feeling this call to use myself and my insight and my experiences to help women transition through the hard times of life. And he was just all about it. And he just said, how can I help keep pushing you? You know, what do you need to unlock yourself? And I'm not kidding you when I say, I literally said, I need the supports to take risks and not look back. And here I am, 31 days later. I have been through various times of fear throughout the 31 days so far in this 35-day challenge. But I served myself well when I said, I'm here to take risks and not look back. Moving Bravely was born out of several life experiences. When I thought about what would I call a business that really just meets people where they are, and helps them transition through these really tough moments, and how do I incorporate helping women knowing what their strengths are, what their values are, and how to incorporate and operationalize those in their day-to-day to live within their purpose and their potential and live a life they're proud of, and then pour into other women. So that's the goal, right? So why Moving Bravely? Well, then I have to go all the way back to my mom's death day. It was something that was tragic. My mom suffered from breast cancer for 4.5 years, and she was in and out of remission and went through a lot of treatments. And when she was fighting, I didn't even know how hard she was fighting. I didn't know how serious it was, and I didn't make it a priority in my life as a young woman who was chasing a career and a relationship and just living her life, right? So that day when we all got together at my mom's house and we were all sitting around, and my dad looks at me and my sisters, and he says to us, whenever you feel stuck, and you are going to feel stuck, you're going to feel paralyzing fear and anxiety and sadness and hurt and anger, and you're gonna feel stuck. And he said, all that I ask you to do is move. I don't care where you go. I don't care if you move across the room. I don't care if you move from one seat to another. Move. Do not let yourself get stuck. And that was so incredible for me to hear. And it didn't help that day, but it is my heart's anthem now. It's just sitting here and reliving that day and hearing my dad say that, and it is just it's really, it hits an emotional point in me where for days and weeks and months and into the second year of grieving my mom, I was just moving. I did it. I was just moving. And then there came to a point where moving wasn't quite enough, and I needed to move with intention. I needed to move in a direction. I need to move with a plan and a vision for what's coming. And so moving bravely defines that for me. And I feel like that is now my heart's anthem, is don't just move bravely, move with intention, move with heart, move with the scariness that you're going to fail, because you're gonna fail. And then you're going to move better next time, and you're going to move braver, and you're going to take more risks. And it's just how life works for me now. And what makes this even crazier is that messaging ties into me taking the strengths test through the VS Strengths free survey, where you have a list of 24 strengths, and they're listed in like your most natural strengths to your least natural strengths, and everyone has all of them. And y'all, I kid you not, the last two on the list, and I didn't know this when I was starting to name my company, I realized this in hindsight, but alignment is everything, right? So the last two strengths listed were perseverance, and the very last one was bravery. I cannot even get over that. Like, that is just alignment and synchronicity and listening to your inner self and what you're meant to do. So once I put those things together, and this is happening all through the 35-day breakthrough challenge that Wes and Rebby and Sean and Tate and the team all put on, I was like, I cannot just keep pushing this off any longer. I have to move, and I have to move bravely, and I have to bring others along with me. So let's review. Let's go back to November and the text between me and Wes about the 35-day breakthrough challenge. And what did I tell him? I needed a challenge that gives me supports to take risks and not look back. And y'all, you get what you ask for. And so I asked for that, and Wes and the team gave it to me. And here we are, taking risks and not looking back. We are moving into 2020 braver than we have ever moved before. And I'm so excited to bring you along with me. So let's talk about the 35-day breakthrough challenge. Do you know that I am sitting here today recording this podcast on the last day of December, the last day of 2019, when 31 days ago, back in November of this year, I had no idea that this would even be a thing. I had lost all hope. I was frustrated. I was confused. I had no clarity. I was just moving through life, and I was starting to get into some of my old habits, some of my old mental habits and emotional habits, and it was just not a good place for me to be in. And so this 35-day breakthrough challenge allowed for me to have a complete 100% focused time to spend working towards my biggest passion. And with the biggest passion comes your biggest fears. And the first week was great. It was exhausting, but it was clarity, and it was getting to know yourself and your mission and your focus and your vision, and starting to define that for you. Like, what's something that has always made you happy? What is something that always gave you that pure joy that you would like to get back? And then you go through your time inventory and you figure out, where are you spending your time and your energy, good and bad and ugly? Like, what does it look like? And along the way, we have accountability partners. I have somebody who's reaching out to me literally every day. And because I'm a type 3 on the Enneagram, I have multiple accountability partners. And so I got Michael, who came in with me. I have my really good friend, Carly, who was texting me every day, making sure that I was planning out my next day. And then I met a girl, Jen, in the group, who's just fantastic. And we became accountability partners and motivators. And it all came from this community of 85 people who were focused on breaking through fear and getting momentum for 2020 while everyone else was slowing down. Everyone else in December does not want to move towards something new. We're all sitting there saying, and this is me in years past, oh, we'll just do it next year. It's the holidays. I'll let up. I'll slow down. I'll pick it back up in 2020. It'll be a fresh start. We'll start January 1. Well, this group of people said, I'm not going to wait. And why wait? Take risks and don't look back. So week 1 was great. And then came week 2. The real exhaustion and fear set in week 2. I began to experience that imposter syndrome that we are all talking about now, where I felt like, okay, why did you do this to yourself? Why are you putting all of this on yourself? You're not equipped. You can't do this. Why, who do you think you are? Kind of questions pop into my head. But the curriculum and the program provided structure and an outlet for me to voice those fears, gain some insight in how to combat those fears, and knowing that the fear was there and that it was there for everyone in the group, including the people who were facilitating it, was so helpful. I was able to say, you know what? Yeah, fear's there. And quite frankly, if I wasn't afraid, why would I even be doing it? I realized that fear is such a motivator if you can just see it for what it is. And so I saw it as a challenge after speaking and being supported with this community. So my accountability partners really had to hang in there with me. They had to boost me back up and tell me what I was there for. They had to bring me back to my clarity of my vision and tell me that I was meant for so much. And it helped. My people really showed up for me. And so that is where it really clicked in, is that these groups, these communities are not just things to just buy and hope that they work. They do work. As long as you put into the community, it will give you the confidence you need to keep moving. And so the breakthrough finally started to come, where I realized, like, okay, this is actually gaining momentum. That's what we were going for, right? But I was still like in disbelief that that was actually going to happen for me and for Moving Bravely. It was just another thing that I was passionate about, and we'll see, we'll give it a good shot. But y'all, this thing was gaining momentum. Women were reaching out to me. They were saying that they were inspired by me. They've always seen this kind of thing coming from me, and they just knew it was a matter of time before it became a thing that I would focus on and go and do. And so I said, okay, I hear you, and we're going to do it. So I'm committed to moving bravely in 2020, and I'm committed to bringing that space to you as a multi-passionate, high-performing woman who is out there trying to do your thing, trying to be all of the things to satisfy all of your goals, whether it's your career goals and your goals to be a good partner. It's goals in the gym or with your how you perceive your body and how you treat your body, grieving and transitions and all of these things. Like, moving bravely is going to serve you through all of those times. And if you're a person who is nodding your head saying like, oh gosh, I think that that's me. It sounds really familiar and I can vibe with this girl and I really want to connect. I am dying to hear from you. You just don't even know. Every single message, every single comment, every single thing I get on social media, I am dying to get back to you and find out more about your journey and what's going on and how I can help. So if you'd like to connect, you can find me on Instagram. It is Moving Bravely on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. It is, you just search Moving Bravely and you will find me there. And if you could just share, that's what we need to grow this community and grow this space and make this accessible for all high performing, multi-passionate women. Share with your friends. Let people know that there is a space out there that is here for you in 2020.